I called out my parents for asking me to do errands when they think my brother is so much better than me. My older brother Jake has been the golden child my entire life. The guy literally had someone else do his math homework for 2 years, and when my parents found out, they praised him for being resourceful. Meanwhile, I get lectured if I forget to make my bed one morning. When Jake joined football in high school, it got 10 times worse. He could stay out past midnight, take money from my parents without asking, and get caught causing trouble with his friends. But somehow he was still their perfect angel who could do no wrong. Every Sunday at church, my parents would brag about Jake to anyone who would listen. They'd tell people he was top of his class, even though his best grade was a C in the class where someone else did all his work. They bought him his favorite takeout just because, got him the newest video games for no reason, and gave him amazing birthday presents. Then there was me. I've had straight A's since middle school, but my teacher actually told me she hoped my parents' lack of enthusiasm wouldn't discourage me from keeping my good grades. That's how obvious it was that they didn't care about my achievements. I had to do chores before school every morning, finish them after homework, and be home by 7 every night. Jake never had any of these rules. When I wanted to get a part-time job, they made such a huge deal about it that I just gave up. The worst part was how they blamed me for everything. One time, my dad forgot to buy burger patties at the store, but somehow that became my fault because I didn't remind him, even though nobody asked me to remind him about anything. Another time, my mom burned dinner while I was at the library working on a group project, and she said it was my fault for not being home to watch the stove. Christmas was always the most obvious example. Jake got a PS5 one year, and I got cheap headphones meant for little kids and a tiny sketchbook. When they saw I was disappointed, they said I got 2 gifts and Jake only got 1, like that made it fair somehow. After Jake left for college, I tried talking to my parents about how differently they treated us. They said I was making it up. When I pointed out that my mom still made Jake's bed when he was 18, while I'd been making my own since I was 4, they said that was nothing and refused to listen to more examples. So last week, Jake came home for Thanksgiving break, and my parents were treating him like royalty again. My mom literally brought him breakfast in bed and kept praising him for doing absolutely nothing except showing up. Then my parents asked me to run errands for them to pick up last-minute stuff for Thanksgiving dinner. Jake was just sitting on the couch playing video games while they asked me to drive all over town getting things they forgot. That's when I finally snapped. I looked at them and said, "Why are you asking me to do this? Shouldn't you ask Jake since he's so perfect and capable? I mean, you obviously don't think I'm as good as him, so why would you want me handling your important errands?" My parents absolutely lost it. They spent 20 minutes lecturing me about how it wasn't my place to question them and how I should be grateful to help out in a house I live in rent-free. They said I was being disrespectful and ungrateful, but I wasn't backing down this time. I told them I'd happily help if they treated me with half the respect they showed Jake. The room went completely silent, and Jake just sat there pretending he couldn't hear us fighting about him. I ended up doing the errands anyway, but at least I finally said what I'd been thinking for years.